Welcome to this edition of City Talk. I'm John McIntire. Several years ago, I was driving my '99 Mustang on the north side in a snowstorm, which was a big mistake because it's a horrible car in the snow, and I accidentally skidded into a fire hydrant. And the airbags deployed, and my Christmas spirit was ruined. And I got out of the car and was surveying the damage. Not 30 seconds went by when a classic north side resident opened up his window and said, "You know why you just crashed into that fire hydrant over there? It's because Guy Costa can't even keep the snow off the streets." Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the legendary Chief of Operations, Guy Costa, for the city of Pittsburgh.
Thank
Guy,
you.
welcome.
And I remember that story, like it was yesterday. So again, I have a Mustang, and you don't drive Mustangs in snowy conditions. So again,
It was a dumb idea.
It was a dumb idea, dumb idea.
Do you, maybe you don't find it amazing at all that guy, and the snow had just started to fall, so there's literally nothing you or anybody could have done about it.
No, you can't.
He couldn't wait to blame you.
Yeah, we have over 1,200 miles of streets in the city of Pittsburgh, lane miles that we have to maintain, and we can't get them done all at once, but people do expect you to get it done all at once, and we try to do the best we can, and I always say that we always do the best we can with the resources we have, but, in this job here, you can't make everyone happy, but the majority of people understand what we're going through and how to deal with a snowstorm and are very patient with it, but there's others that are never going to be happy, and that's the reality of the job.
Well, you are retiring after many, many years of government service, and the question I have, and I think a lot of people have, is who are we going to blame now? Can we still blame you?
You can still blame me. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'll still be around. I'll still be around here in Pittsburgh. I'm going to volunteer with different organizations to keep busy. I'll have a working open line with the mayor's office if there's any institutional knowledge that's needed, or come in for any meetings.
So you'd be an advisor?
Yeah, an unpaid advisor, yeah. But, after 40-some years, I have the ability to retire and enjoy life. In my family, folks in my dad's generation, they weren't able to retire. They just couldn't retire, and they passed away before retirement came.
There's a lot of people even now who can't do that. So you are fortunate.
I'm blessed. I'm one of the few people who can retire and enjoy life. A lot of people can't do that. I've talked to a lot of people who are my age and older and say, "Hey, we'd love to retire, but financially we just can't do it. We can't live off of Social Security. We just can't live off our pension." Healthcare is a big expense for a lot of people, and that's holding a lot of people back from retiring.
So you're from this area originally?
Grew up in the Larmer neighborhood. Then we moved to Squirrel Hill, and I've been living in Squirrel Hill most of my life. So true Pittsburgher, lived here all my life. Over 40 years of government service. I started out Pittsburgh School District as a school teacher, and then I went over to the county. The reason I went over to the county was when I worked for a school district, I was a substitute school teacher. I worked and filled in for teachers on sabbaticals or leaves, whatever, but it wasn't a full-time job, wasn't a job with the benefits. And then my dad said, "Well, there's a job over in the county. Why don't you go work for the county public works department where you get some benefits?" So I was kind of hesitant, but I went over there and I thought, I'll go work for the county until I can get a full-time job teaching. Well, I worked for the public works department and loved it. I got into a groove that I really, really enjoyed working in public works and enjoyed working.
You got sucked into government service and
I did.
Gave up. You said to heck with your teaching career.
Yeah, heck my teaching career. But I'm glad I did get the degree from Duquesne University, and I graduated from Alderdice as well. But anyway, it got into, I really enjoyed what I did, and I worked a number of years for the county. And then when Tom Murphy was elected mayor, he was looking for some young staffers to come over and work for the city. And
so you were young once?
I was young once, yes. I might think back 40 years ago. It seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
It was 40 years ago, but time goes very quickly. But I was offered a job to be the executive director of the Parking Authority, and I ran the city's Parking Authority for 4 years, and then came over here to the Department of General Services. And one time, the Department of General Services oversaw the Cable Bureau. So the Cable Bureau was under my direction. I think that picture in the background might have been in my office as well. And then I went over to the Public Works Department, and one thing led to another. So it's been a good career.
Well, when were you sweeping the floors at the old Civic Arena?
Civic Arena. Oh, that was when I was in my Duquesne University days. That was in the after high school. I needed a job and part-time while I was going to school, and I went over to Civic Arena. I wanted to be an usher, and the gentleman there said, "We're not hiring ushers, but we're hiring sweepers." I said, "I don't want to sweep. I want to be an usher." He goes, and I forgot about it. Then I got a phone call one day, and the guy said, "Hey, this is Steve. You want to come down here at the Civic Arena and sweep our floors?" I said, "No, I told you I want to be an usher." I said, before I hang up, "How much does the job pay?" He goes, $3.85 an hour. I said, "Where do I report?" Back then, the minimum wage was like $1.25.
Right.
$3.85 was a lot of money for a kid in college. So I worked there, loved it. It was a great job. I did that while I went to college and while I worked for the county. When I worked for the county, I had 2 jobs. I had a full-time job during the day, and when I could at night and in the evenings on weekends, I worked at the Civic Arena, and I loved it. Got to meet some interesting people at the, working at the Civic Arena. Got to see hockey games for free, Duquesne basketball for free, and some very good concerts. Got to meet some celebrities like Tina Turner and Billy Joel a couple times.
Did you get to meet Tina Turner and Billy Joel?
Yeah,
Which one did you
were
like
very
more?
nice. I liked Billy Joel, who's more down to earth. He was a very nice guy. But the one star I saw I was really starstruck. Actually, it was twice. It was, being within 10 feet of Frank Sinatra. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Michael Jackson performing on stage. And I had the security detail working behind stage and just seeing Michael Jackson on stage. And it was like something you'll never, ever forget. So I was very fortunate and to be able to work those events and do that job.
I'm actually jealous because I'm big fans of both and have never seen
is
either
that right?
live.
Yeah.
That's
Very
awesome. Good for
was,
you.
yeah. Mhm.
But you never dreamed when you were sweeping the floors at the Civic Arena that one day you'd be running a major government department.
No. When I was sweeping floors, I wanted to be a firefighter, and I did take the firefighter's test, and I failed. And I always wondered, what if I had passed that test? What if I became a firefighter? Would I still be a city firefighter
And would people
today?
blame you for all the fires?
They had to
every
blame
time
me
there
for
was-
all the fires or anything like that. But, I've been very fortunate, very blessed and in my career. I'm very happy with it. I love Pittsburgh. I never had any reason or one need to leave Pittsburgh, but I really enjoy it. And again, I can't say enough. I'm really appreciative to Mayor Peduto for bringing me back on board. As you know, I left and when the mayor ran for election, he asked me to work on his campaign. I said, sure.
The mayor, Bill Peduto, yeah.
Back then he was Bill Peduto. Now
Right.
it's Mayor Peduto. Yes.
No, I
yes.
understand.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't want anybody to think you meant Mayor Tom Murphy or any other mayor.
So anyway,
Yeah.
and when he asked me to come back 5 years ago, I was glad to come back, and it's been a great ride. But it's getting to the point in my life where it's just time to move on and let some of the young folks take over and run the city.
Well, after when you're just unpaid advisor, are you still going to call him mayor, or will it just go back to Bill?
No, I think I'm going to, out of respect, I'll continue to call him the
right.
mayor.
Okay,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
We'll be back with another segment of our conversation with the retiring legendary Guy Costa on City Channel in a moment. Stay with us.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
Back with retiring Chief Operating Officer in the city of Pittsburgh and legend in his own time, Guy Costa.
I thought you said legend in my own mind, but I'll take the
I almost said
yeah,
that.
you
and
almost
I just
did,
thought,
yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you a legend in your own mind?
No.
I don't
You
think
know
so.
what?
You seem pretty down to earth.
No, I just feel I enjoyed what I do, and I wish I could stay on longer. But when you get to be 63 years old, the mind doesn't work as well as it used to, and it's just time to retire, relax, and enjoy life.
Well, in a serious moment, you had some health problems with your brain, correct?
Yeah, I do. I live with brain tumors, and I get MRI and checked out every 3 to 4 months. I get MRIs. Knock on wood, I've been blessed.
You're doing very well, right?
I'm doing well. I'm
Yeah.
under medications, and the doctors have to keep an eye on it. At some point, they're going to grow and they'll have to be dealt with. But the longer it takes till they grow, the more technology or remedies they'll have for it. So I'm blessed in that area, because when I was first diagnosed, the diagnosis was not good. And my worry was I wanted to see my son go through high school, and then the next thing I wanted to see my son go through college, and then I wanted to see my son get his first full-time job, and that's all happened. So I've been very blessed in that end too. So again, it's something I have to be aware of and work very closely with the doctors. And I got to commend, we're very fortunate that we have the Hillman Cancer Center here in Pittsburgh. Used to ride by the building, didn't have a clue what they did until I realized how important that facility is to the health community, not only here in Pittsburgh, but nationally and throughout the world. So I'm very thankful that we have doctors here, and we have the center here, right here in the heart of Pittsburgh.
We're all very happy for you and for their excellent work. Do you recall a particular year when the snow was worse than others, when you were in charge of the Department of
No,
Public
you know what?
Works?
We've always had snow. There was one year where there was a late winter where we had buds from the trees blooming and flowers in December, and some of our employees were out golfing, and one of the TV stations made a story, not a negative story, but a positive story, how public works supervisors were out golfing in the middle of December, not dealing with
You're being
snow.
sarcastic, I assume.
Yeah, I am. But anyway, but the thing is, you know, we have typical Pittsburgh winters. I dodged the worst winter in Pittsburgh's history. I think I left in 2009, and the following winter was 2010. It was pretty bad in 2010.
Good for you, though.
It was good, yes. So
that
some
was
up
meant to
above,
be,
yeah, when they said leave at 9 before 10. So, but you know what? It's a typical, winter in Pittsburgh. You have good days, you have bad days. But yesterday was a kind of interesting day. I thought the world was coming to an end with houses collapsing.
Lots of wind.
A lot of wind,
this,
trees
yeah.
coming down, telephone poles snapping, wires burning. So it was a really interesting day yesterday, and hopefully we don't get to see one of those for a long time.
Yeah, that was really, really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So they all blur together. The worst snowfall you managed to avoid because you temporarily left government service, and otherwise 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
But it's a real challenge that I take it you enjoy despite people blaming you for everything bad.
You know what?
Or anything bad.
Yeah, I mean, you had a plan, and you had the thought was, the snow's eventually going to go away. It's not here forever. It's just a matter of how quickly it's going to go away. So, you hope temperatures rise, and people don't realize that. They think, oh, once you salt the street, no matter what the temperature is, it's going to melt. Well, rock salt loses its effectiveness at 17 degrees. So the colder it gets, the less effective rock salt is. But the temperatures are rising above 17 degrees. The snow melts quicker and the roads are wetter, and folks tend to be happier. But, you have a plan, you work with it, and dependent upon the elements, the weather, the temperatures, and the timing, the sun. There's a lot of factors involved that will make the difference of how quickly you get the streets cleared in the city of Pittsburgh.
Isn't there new and improved rock salt this year?
Yes, what we did is decided with going the old practice of spraying our rock salt with liquid calcium. We found a product that we decided to use this year. It's more expensive, but it's mixed with a chemical so that it's effective to below zero, maybe as low as 20 below zero. So rather than use a regular spray, regular rock salt where it loses effectiveness at 17 degrees, this new salt, we call it the blue salt, works with the colder temperatures, and we were very successful with it this year.
It was successful.
It was very
Okay.
successful, yeah. And it lasts longer too.
Are you worried that therefore things will go better in years to come, and people mistakenly think that it's because Guy Costa finally left?
They
and the new
could.
people were
They
better?
could. Yeah, they could say that it's good that he's gone.
But you don't care.
No, I don't care. It's a job. It's a job, and I enjoy my job. And I found, a lot of city employees love their jobs and enjoy their jobs. And a lot of times we as city employees are being criticized. But we love our jobs, and we're very happy with the jobs we have, and we want to make a difference for the city of Pittsburgh. I want to make a difference for the residents of the city of Pittsburgh and the city itself. We've got a great city. I'm very fortunate to go to other cities around the world, and it's always good to come back to Pittsburgh.
What will you do in retirement? Are you worried about just occupying your time?
Yeah, I do. I was thinking maybe I can work as a greeter somewhere, part-time.
Do they still have those?
I hope they do, yeah. So I do want to be involved with one of the authorities on their board. I also will volunteer at different events throughout the city of Pittsburgh. My mother, she's probably watching this program. She's in her 90th year. She's going to need some help there. And I was in Panera's the other day, and some woman walked up to me and said, "Hey, I see you're retiring." I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Are you looking forward to it?" I said, "Yeah, but my biggest fear is, being able to keep busy, find things to do." She goes, "Trust me, I retired. Others will find things for you to do to keep you busy." So I'm sure, like my son already got a to-do list. My mother's got my wife's got a to-do list. So there's a lot of to-do lists out there, and I'll try to take it, do what I
Sure,
can.
sure. I'm sure you'll take it one day at a time, and it'll all work out.
Yeah.
The official city dog, River. What kind of a dog is that?
He's a golden retriever.
Right. So he's very friendly.
Yeah.
And he's friendly at everybody, but he loves you to death. And he always seeks you out whenever there's an opportunity.
Yeah, he does. He makes my day, especially Mondays. He is so excited to get to work on Mondays. Wish more employees were excited about Monday mornings, but he's excited. He runs down the hall. He comes to me. We have a few words. I talk about my weekend, and he listens, and it's good. He never talks back, and he's a very good dog. And
But just like the city of Pittsburgh residents won't know what to do without you to blame, the dog will not know what to do without you to hang out with.
I know, and I did say that I'm more than free to maybe come down here and take him for walks or take him home for a weekend. But there are other departments, other directors lobbying for River to become part of their team, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. In fact, he wanted to come up in the elevator with me, and I said, "I don't know if it's appropriate."
No, it
or
would have
not."
been fine.
Yeah, but he's a good dog.
All right. So, do you have any regrets at all? Is there something you wish you could have accomplished that you weren't able to get around to?
I think I wish we could have done more. I think, I think if over the years we were under Act 47 for a number of years, and we were very restricted
budgetary
with the budgets.
constraints, yeah.
We couldn't pay the amount of streets we should have. We had to close swimming pools. We had to close rec centers. We had to close facilities. We couldn't rebuild the infrastructure that we have because we just didn't have the finances to do that. But again, that would be, I don't want to call it a regret. I mean, I wish we could have done more, but unfortunately with the budget, we just weren't able to do that.
Although things have improved substantially since then, not
big
completely,
time.
but
yeah, they're
long
getting
way
better.
back.
This year here in 2019, you're going to see the most city streets paved in decades. You're going to see a lot of that in the next couple of weeks. You're seeing an improvement with the equipment, the fleet, infrastructure improvements, and so you are beginning to see a lot of improvements. You're seeing a lot of development going on in the city, new housing, new buildings being built throughout the city of Pittsburgh, not in any particular area, but throughout the city of Pittsburgh and all the different neighborhoods.
Guy Costa, River the Dog is not the only one who's going to miss you. We're all going to miss you.
Well, thank you. Thank you
so
for
much
always
for
being
doing
there.
this.
Appreciate that. And thank everyone for their patience with me. And I'll miss everybody. I really will. Yeah.
Guy Costa, you can still blame him in absentia. That's the good news. Thanks for watching City Talk. We'll see you next time.